Hi, I'm NickiiJean, and you guys already know we have a great creative to talk to today with Miss Natalia Nasa. Hello. Welcome. Okay, so we're talking about, first of all, I want you guys to know where I met her. This is how amazing LA is, being in creative spaces are. I met her at a birthday party in Beverly Hills, I feel like, and you were the chef there. And the food was just ridiculous. And it was just this tiny, beautiful woman that just killed it.
Man, I wasn't even expecting to cook that day.
Okay.
But when you get invited in the kitchen by some chefs,
yeah,
you gotta just get ready and nervous or not, ready or not, here we come.
So were you nervous?
I was. That was my first time meeting all the chefs that were in that kitchen.
Okay.
And they were established and have worked with some of the most incredible people. I wasn't ready.
Okay.
But I put my hair up, put an apron on, and I was just ready to get in there and do what I had to do.
Yeah.
So I killed it.
Yeah, I agree.
I work well under pressure. So
the tacos, the lamb, the salmon, you literally, it was amazing. It was delicious. And
thank you.
Then I think I was just so impressed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, let me just follow her. This wasn't even happening, mesh or anything, for me at least. And we just connected. And when it was the right time to properly connect, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to sit down with her. And I just want to know her story. So,
and I'm so glad you did. So thank you for that.
No problem.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's talk about it.
Okay, let's do it.
So we were talking earlier. You are Assyrian. Okay?
I'm Assyrian, yes.
Yes. And so I didn't know that there were there was a difference.
A lot of people don't know who Assyrians are and mistake Assyrians and Syrians.
Right.
So Syrians are from Syria.
Okay.
And Assyrians are from Iraq.
Okay.
What used to be Assyria.
Okay.
It's no longer considered Assyria
Give
anymore.
us the history. Thank
you.
Appreciate that.
We date back 6,773 years. Isn't that insane? What?
I mean, okay, and what are your thoughts on just the growth of your culture?
We have come a really long way, but I still feel my ancestors.
Okay.
And I'll tell you that because my parents were born and raised in Iraq.
Okay.
And then came to America in their teens.
Okay.
And my grandma and my grandpa, who also had a hand in raising me, carried those same traditions from back home.
Okay.
My grandma came here. I don't even know how she did it, but she has big pots and pans and spatulas that she'll say that she brought from Iraq. And I'm thinking to myself, when you're a kid hearing those things, you don't think, oh, how did you bring that on a plane? Did you just sit with it in your lap? I know. You didn't put that in your luggage.
I get it.
So down to even the food that, that I ate was literally was made in pots straight from back home. Yeah. So that's nuts to me. Yeah. We've came a really long way. I feel like the older generation is trying really hard not to become Americanized and hold on to their roots and their traditions, which is such a beautiful thing. So
how do you how do you hold on to your traditions?
How do I hold on to my traditions? I continue to go to an Assyrian church.
Okay.
I have a lot of Assyrian friends.
Okay.
And we celebrate Assyrian New Year's, which is May 1st. It's called Akidu.
Okay.
I eat Assyrian food and make Assyrian food. I don't make a lot of Assyrian food.
I know, that was going to be my next question. How does
let
that
me not say I make Assyrian food because it's a lot
harder?
I feel it is a little harder, but when I do make Assyrian food, I get together with my Assyrian girlfriends who live out here, whose parents don't live out here.
Okay.
And we get together and we'll make things like dolma, which is the grape leaf that has the rice and the meat and the herbs and all that.
Actually.
And we also make biryani.
Okay, yes.
I'm sure you've had biryani before. Yeah.
Yes.
So I like to make it with my girlfriends.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go back to, you said it starts
dolma.
Dolma.
Yeah. So
it's
grape
similar
leaves.
to the vine leaves, but in different cultures they're just called different, that they're named different things.
They're I remember with my grandma. She always had a garden of so many different things, and one of the main things was grape leaves. Okay. So anytime we were gonna make dolma, we would literally go to the backyard, pick off some grape leaves, and brine them a little bit, and then they would be ready for dolma.
So wait, do you have your own garden?
I don't, girl. Okay. Girl, I live in an apartment.
Okay.
Okay. I don't
it's okay. Get it.
But I definitely will. A lot of the clients that I work for do have their own garden. Okay, so cool. One of my dad's friends who lives out here also has a garden, so I could go there anytime and get some fresh herbs and oranges and all that kind of great stuff. So I do love that.
Now you just said dad, so I'm like, all right, let's get into it. So let's talk about like your upbringing. What was that like?
Man, so I'm from Modesto, California, Turlock, California. That's central. A lot of people don't really know where that is.
Had
but
no idea. Literally it's all
it's all agriculture. It's like farmland, agricultural. So I'm an only child.
Okay.
But what I will tell you, my parents were divorced since I was about 1 year old. Okay. So I've always known two homes. Okay. But something that I never lacked in was love and attention. Right. If anything, it was a surplus of that. And, you know, growing up Assyrian, it's not abnormal for for the family to live with their grandparents. Okay. So my mom, it was just me and my mom when I was at my mom's house. And then when I was at my dad's, it was me, my dad, my grandma, my grandpa, a couple of my uncles before they flew the coop and got married. Wow. That's not abnormal, at all. Yeah. Now, you know, in American culture, it's like, oh, you're out by the time you're 18. Yeah. And it's like,
which is like, no,
we would never.
Please stop doing that.
Come on. We would never do that, you know? Yeah. But yeah, everyone had a hand in raising me. I was the firstborn grandchild. I was the firstborn niece out of 5 uncles. So everyone had a hand in holding me, loving me, raising me.
The village.
And I'm an impeccable woman because of that. Thank you to God. Yeah. But thank you to all the love that I have received from each and every single one of my family members. Awesome. They built Fort Tough, for real.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a village and I mean, you are just a prime example of what a village
absolutely can produce, the product of that. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm so thankful.
Yeah. We're thankful,
girl.
Honestly. And I think that everyone has their village, you know, but like just being thankful for that village, even when you're unhappy and you're like, this village is, you know, but like just
man, growing up in like a house that's so full like that, like I just remember like wanting to pull my hair out.
No privacy, maybe.
It was paradise when I went to my mom's house because it was just me and my mom. I'm sure. And but then my body craved the chaos. My heart, my soul craved the chaos. I feel like, you know, a loud environment is love to me, you know? So.
Okay, so how did we get into cooking?
Girl, it was a hidden talent. Okay, because
did you cook growing up?
So I was just gonna say, so I did not cook growing up. And again, growing up in an Assyrian household, that is not your kitchen, baby. I couldn't even make macaroni and cheese or fry an egg unless my grandma was standing over my shoulder telling me what to do, what not to do, using too much grease, using too much this. So I stayed out. And I say it's a hidden talent because when I moved out and moved on to my own when I was 21, you start to do things that you've never done before.
You have no choice, listen. You have no, you're going to eat? You're going to eat.
So it was a hidden talent. I was just... You know, I was still going to college. I was taking my generals. You know, I still didn't know what path in life I wanted to take. So when I discovered that I would cook and then I would have my friends come over and I would see them wiping their plate clean, like, oh, Natalia, this is so good. And I love that. So I decided to perfect my craft and I went to culinary school. And
what age were, if you don't, this was 20?
No, this was like 5 years ago. I haven't been in the culinary industry professionally for very long. I've been cooking since I was 21, right? So it's like 8 years now, and been a professional chef for like 5 years, including school.
Okay.
And when I started school, I had no idea what field I was not what field, but
what you wanted to
what
do
I wanted to do because
culinary?
There's so many different avenues. You could work in a kitchen, you could be a caterer, you can do all these different things, and after time progressed in school, I knew damn well I was not going to be in the back of the house.
Okay.
Because of my personality, and I love connecting with other people. So being a personal chef was right up my alley. I'm like, come on, I can cook and laugh and make jokes with people and be entertaining and just be hospitable, and it just all tied in together, and I'm glad God opened that door for me. So,
awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about like how you've tied in your cooking with your family. Because you just said like, okay, I was not trying to be in the kitchen because A, B, and C. So now what does that look like for your family?
So I'll tell you this. Only my mom lives in this city. My parents, my dad, and my grandma and all them. Everybody lives in different areas. No one lives close to me. So my mom and my friends are really the only ones that get to experience the goodness, you know? But when I do go back home and I visit my grandma and my uncle and my cousins, to be completely honest with you, I'm on dish duty. And I'll tell you why. I miss my grandma's cooking. Okay. And although this woman is like 85, 86 years old, God bless her soul, she will still get up and cook everybody a meal for dinner. It's like, it's in her bones.
Right. It's just natural.
It's come so natural to her.
It's her love language.
I'm on dish duty. I'll clean. I'll do the dishes. Whatever. But when I go to Nana's house, I'm there to eat. I'm a guest. Okay.
And this mom's dad.
This is my dad's. This is my dad's mom. My mom's mom is in Chicago.
Okay.
So I wasn't raised by her, but she's always been in my life, just at a distance.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
But she's a great cook too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Nana is the same as grandma when you say.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, in a previous interview, you mentioned like how impactful your Nana was, you know, in your life in general. Like, can we kind of elaborate on what type of impact she made?
Absolutely. So I also call my grandma in Assyrian Yom, which means mom.
Okay.
Yeah, I also have her tattooed right here.
Okay.
It's Shamiran in Assyrian.
Okay.
So my grandma had 6 boys and 1 daughter, and her daughter passed away at a very young age. And my dad was the first to have a child, and it was me. So she basically adopted me as her daughter and literally just catered to my every need and just made sure I was fed and taken care of. And look, I'm going to say this right now. It's
Spill the
my grandma loved to make sure that I was clean. And even if that meant giving me a shower and scrubbing me down,
of course.
she did exactly that. And girl, I think up until junior high. Not all the time. Not all the time.
Yeah.
But she just like, I remember it was about to be like my first day of like either 7th or 8th grade. And she loved to sit me in a bath, and she loved to scrub my hair and scrub my back and do all those things. And my mom walks in one day, I think she was like dropping a book off or something like that for school. And she walks in the bathroom, she goes, "You still letting your grandma give you a shower?" And I'm like, "Ma'am, yes."
Yeah, mind
what?
your business.
That's love to me.
Yeah, for sure.
What? That is
For sure.
That is like the truest and honest definition of love to me. Just a woman just making sure that I'm scrubbed clean.
Yeah.
Like, I would have never known to scrub my ankles.
Yeah.
Unless she was on me about it.
Right, exactly. You're being taught.
So I'm always super squeaky clean because of her, and just love, like in every way, shape, and form. Anytime I was sick, if my tonsils were hurting, I remember, so we have this olive oil that's blessed that we get from church.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Girl. My mom would put it on
Come on, whenever you're not feeling well. But I
Yeah.
remember she would, even if my tonsils were sore, she would put it on my neck. She would say a prayer. She would sit behind me, and she would kind of try to raise them up if they were falling. And she was just, man, the strongest, kindest, most selfless woman I have ever seen in life. And because of her, I am me. And I am so thankful for that.
Shout out to Nana.
Shout out, Nana.
We love
I
Nana.
love you. I don't know
Yes.
where I'm looking, but
Look here.
Oh, look, okay.
I love it. Okay. That's great. We I wanted to know. I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. That, you know, and it makes sense. And now hearing that helps me understand, you know, the work that you do in the community, which we will get.
Absolutely.
You know, we'll touch on that. But you also mentioned in one of your interviews that your goal is to just like, not your goal, but you're breaking generational curses.
Absolutely.
And I'm just curious, like, and I, this is just me being ignorant to your generational curses, but
not at all.
everything sounds so great. And you're like, generational curses. And I'm just like, what? And I know that we're never going to say these were the issues that I had, but I'm just curious to know, like, from your perspective, what type of generational curses have you broken? And if you are still working on some.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just understanding what my parents have gone through when they, were living in the Middle East, and my grandparents and the trials and tribulations that they had to endure. Like, I think about, what am I thinking about? So our women in our culture are meant to and raised to be wives, right? And be the housekeeper, not have dreams, not pursue a career. My grandma, who's 86, 87 years old, came here when she was about, I don't know, in her 20s, I'm sure. No, 30s. Let me get this right. Because she had her kids and then came here. So she was probably almost in her 40s before she came here. Okay. And she never got her driver's license. She never learned how to read. She speaks a little bit of English, but in our household, we speak mainly Assyrian.
Right.
And any of the events that she always went to were always Assyrian events. So, she knows what are you and all those types of things. Yeah. But I think a generational curse that I have broken is I'm more than just a housewife, baby. But I'm not saying that she's not a wifey, because
okay,
she is, okay.
If you like it.
I, was raised to, take care of a home, take care of the ones that you love, put them before yourself. And luckily, my parents didn't push like marriage down my throat. They were a little bit more Americanized. So that's when the shift happened.
Got it.
And I wasn't pressured to get married. I was pressured to pursue myself. Find out who you are, Natalia. Go to school, go here, go there, travel, and find out who you are. And, marriage will come because I'm incredible, baby.
Exactly.
And that's on the horizon, I'll tell you.
Just in case you were wondering.
So I think, and I know that pursuing my goals and leaving a small town where literally probably almost all of my friends that are still there, and this is no shade to them, but it's small town mentality to go to college, get your degree, get married, have kids, and settle down. And baby, that's gonna come, but I need to
same.
Like where I'm from, you don't leave. Turlock. You stay in Turlock. So it's I'm like a celebrity when I go back home.
Because it's like, wow, someone from our city has done something and they represent us. And I appreciate that you represent. No, this is where I'm from. But this is where I'm at now.
This is where I'm at now. And it's been an incredible journey. I love living here. And it has blossomed me into a woman that I never even knew that I was going to become. You always know when you're a little kid, like, I'm gonna be great.
Yes.
But you don't know what you're about to endure.
You have no idea.
And where God's like, okay, and what He's about to make out of you. So,
and I think that going back to the Nana question, that plays a huge role in who you are now. And like, once again, it makes so much sense. So, okay, following you online, we met once and then, and we literally, it was just like, oh, your food's great. Hey, let me follow you, and I literally was hopping on a flight, like leaving, like I was, I came here just to visit and to watch you from afar. I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl is amazing. I want to be all in her business. Because I want to talk and I feel like there's something, like you said, you're called, there's purpose and there's a voice that's in you that other people, can benefit. Absolutely. Which brings me to this last, portion of, what you do for the community. Like, how did you get involved in community outreach?
Okay, so since I was a little kid, I always knew that I was going to be of service to others.
Okay.
It was just in my spirit. You know, maybe seeing my grandma, you know, be of service to others and be so selfless and put others before herself.
I think
no
for
matter
sure
what,
that's where it comes
no
from.
matter how tired, no matter how sick, no matter what. So I always knew that I was going to help others. When I moved out here 8 years ago, I knew that I was going to give back to the unhoused community in one way or another, or work with the elderly. Those were my two callings. And I was ignoring it for a really long time.
Why do you say you were ignoring it?
So I wasn't answering the calling because I don't feel like I was surrounded by the right people to encourage me
to do it,
to get there.
Yeah.
And your circle of people that you surround yourself with is so important. They can literally catapult you.
Absolutely.
Like when you don't believe in yourself, or if you want to get something done and you don't feel like you can get it done, the people that you love and that you keep closest in your circle are going to make sure that you get it done.
Absolutely, because they see the bigger picture.
So I think I was just getting so caught up in myself and having fun. And
but what sorry to cut you off, but you said that, you know, I'm ignoring my calling, but what was happening to make you feel like you're ignoring what's, you know, that call?
Man, so I think I was just scared. I was scared because I didn't want to do it by myself. And I do remember asking friends at the time if they would come out to Skid Row with me, which I call Love Row. We don't call it Skid Row anymore. It's Love Row. So if you hear that, that's what we're going with.
Love Row, you hear it?
I just wasn't, people that I was asking to go, they were just scared. And you know, and that's not bad to have that feeling.
Like
I
what,
wanted to,
yeah.
I just knew I wanted to be of service. I didn't even know if it was going to be a cooking thing. I didn't even know what it was going to be. And I think, you know, I maybe wanted to pass out clothes or something had to do with small acts of kindness and just be there, you know? And I think that people were just scared, which is valid because you don't know. And I think a part of me was kind of scared too, and I didn't want to do it by myself. Because I didn't know the community. I didn't know what to expect when I went down there. So last year, I stumbled upon a chef who was posting about doing, you know, community work and all that type of stuff. And I started following him, and it really just took me reaching out. And I went to one of the events that he was having downtown and I asked him if I could volunteer. And since then, I'm like, okay, I could do this. I just had to see it done. I had to see it done and I had to see, you know, how I interact with others. And I was not scared at all. Like he was preparing me. He was like, you know, like, be on your guard, you know, don't slip, you know, just be on it. And I'm like, he's prepping me. And if anything, he was kind of scaring me. I'm like, what am I about to,
what am I walking into?
I just came right now, you know? So, so we got there and it was so natural. Everyone down there is so deserving. And I'm not scared. And nobody should be scared.
I love
and
that.
We're really talking about people that are like you and I that just were dealt a different hand, a different card. And and they just need some love, baby. And that's all they want. That's all they need. And I love, now that I go down there so many times, you'll run into different organizations that are there also giving out and donating their time, donating love. Pastors there praying over people. And it's nice. There's a really, really, really large community of people that are giving back. And it's nice to know that we're not alone. Because it does take a village.
It takes a village.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was something that you said earlier that just like ties in the purpose of Mesh and everything that we're doing and why we wanted to sit down with you, because had you not made the connection that you said, you made a connection with the chef and you took the risk and you DM'd him because you wanted to be a part of it, scared and all, you did it. And then when you actually got there, you were like, oh my God. Like, it's not that big of a, like, I can do this. I was made for this.
Exactly.
So thank you for sharing that, because that's what we want people to hear. Like someone could literally be sitting interested in being a chef or wanting to go to, do more community outreach and are just scared.
Right.
And fear just is the last thing that, we want people to walk in. And so you are a prime example of how you didn't let fear stop you.
I just want to encourage to lean into that fear.
Yeah.
God wants you to lean in to what the Holy Spirit is pushing you towards.
Okay,
so
don't
bad.
Get it started, okay? Because we'll start speaking in tongues and all that, okay? I hear you, for sure. I agree 100%.
And you may think, oh, I don't have this resource. I don't have this. I need this. I need that. And let me tell you, go with what you have.
Exactly.
Because the second that you start working in that purpose that God is leading you to, He will start to provide all of the resources, all of the people, all of the just everything that you need.
Yeah.
He will provide all of it.
Yeah.
So what I've been thinking about, because I suffer with anxiety. Who doesn't suffer with anxiety?
Before we said film, yes, I get it.
That anxiety, I feel like I have to work on it on a daily basis, but I overcome it with worry about today.
Right.
God's got tomorrow, baby.
Right.
God's
100%.
got tomorrow. Okay.
100%. And just like you said, just like walking in that abundance and just let you walk. God is literally just saying, just walk.
Right.
I got you. I will literally be pushing you and will provide all the things that you need. But if we're continuing to create these lists of the things that we can't do, you're counting yourself out.
Absolutely.
That is a no-no.
Right.
We can't. And that's just what the devil wants you to do.
Work with what you have.
Exactly.
Work with what you have.
Yep.
And if it's a burning desire in you, you got to lean into it.
You have to.
And He will provide everything else.
Absolutely.
Just go with what you got right now. And just like today, I don't sit on camera. This is not, what I do.
The Lord did a thing.
But, He led me here. But even just leaning into what I'm scared of, I've just made that commitment to myself. Yeah. Girl, it's fine.
Do it
scared.
It's
going to be, what scares you, because it's going to help you grow. And it's going to help spread a message. And it's going to help somebody. And it'll help you, create new connections and collaborate and all that great stuff. So
and
need
that's what
that.
we're all about.
So
okay, what's next though?
Girl.
Tell me all the
Okay,
tea.
so with my organization, Feed the Need LA.
Feed the Need LA.
It's not only about going to Love Row and giving back clothes and homemade gourmet meals that we have been doing. Feeding the Need is finding wherever there is a need. So it could be with the elderly. It could be with children. Wherever there is a need, wherever God is going to call me and my lovely volunteers, my tribe, and it continues to grow every week.
Absolutely.
1 week I'll have 2 people. 1 week I'll have 7 people. 1 week it was 5 people, So whenever somebody has time and they come out, it's great. The team continues to expand. As far as my culinary career, I've worked with some of the most incredible people, girl.
Yeah. I can imagine. I see you, bro. I see you on the ground.
Somebody, like I said, someone like me from Turlock, from Modesto, you don't become something of yourself. You don't work with celebrities. You don't cater weddings. You don't, do all these incredible things. You stay in this little box, in this little mentality. And because I decided to leave that and grow, I feel like what's next is I'm just going to continue to lean into my purpose with giving back because it feels so good.
Yes,
and I do want to do the Lord's work. Yes. I do want to spread love.
Yeah.
And I do want to spread, excuse me, I do want to spread the mission of not only worrying about yourself.
Yeah.
Because I love self-care. I love us worrying about like our mental health and going to therapy and going to the gym and taking care of your body. And I love that.
Yeah.
Self, yes, do that. But selflessness is what we need, baby. Like, come on.
Honestly.
If you look around, it's like a lot of people, including myself, for such a long time was only focused on myself and my personal growth, which is also a great thing. But something's got to give somewhere along the lines. There's so many areas that need love. Yeah. And my idol is Mother Teresa. Okay. She found pockets of places that needed love and went there. And you don't need much because love goes such a long way. A little bit of love goes such a long way. So I just want to inspire a movement of selflessness and small acts of kindness and giving back and putting others before yourself and where it needs to be. Yeah. And just being an inspiration to follow your purpose and listening to the Holy Spirit.
I know. And it's not easy. Yeah. It's not easy.
And I think that's why I became a chef, honestly. Although I've worked with a lot of celebrities, I am a celebrity chef. Yeah. I'm also a personal chef, for anyone that's not a celebrity, that's fine. But I really think that being a chef has allowed me to create so many different connections with other chefs that we literally come together and we collaborate and we come up with different recipes to hit the streets with. Because we're not just making bologna and cheese sandwiches, baby. Right. We're not putting a hot dog on a bun to hit the streets. We are really like, we'll call each other and collaborate about, okay, what do we want to make? What do we have? What recipe do we want to, break down? What can be made best in mass and still be delivered warm? Like, that's important, and people down there are so deserving. Yeah. They all say, thank you so much. God bless you guys. You never know when their next meal is going to be. We can open up our refrigerator and we got everything we need there. So, yeah. That's what I think the future has, is just spreading love, continuing on and continuing to feed whatever need there is. Yeah. So
no, I love that for you. I love that for the world. I think that
thank you.
You're doing a great job. You're doing it. As you said, you literally said, okay, sometimes there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5 volunteers, but it continues to grow. So that same mission that you have in mind for the community, for the world, other people have that mission and they're like on board with what you're doing and want to push it, whether they go and participate, donate, whatever, share it on social media, just
go into anything knowing that you're about to be great.
Yep, exactly.
Just go into it knowing that you're about to be great. When I started in culinary school, I didn't know that I was going to be in homes with Anthony Davis. And T Grizzly. And Lil Baby. Like, imagine. I didn't know I was going to be doing that. I just knew I was going to go to culinary school. And then the good Lord said, baby, you have been answering exactly what I've been wanting you to do.
Exactly. And you hit it right there. You're doing what I want. All I wanted you to do was walk.
And I just include him in everything. Even today, I pray to him. I'm like, is this something that you want me to do?
Thanks, God.
Thank you, God.
I hear you.
And I said, if it is, please,
discernment.
Guide me there with you and allow me to speak through you.
Absolutely. And I hear you.
And I'm here. And I love it.
And
so thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
You just got to lean into it.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your story. I think that, I'm almost certain that there is a chef, there's someone interested in what you're doing. And I feel like you definitely just blessed someone. And that was the goal.
Hit me up. You have any questions? Yeah. I'm still perfecting my craft. I still show up as a student. Like anywhere I go, I'm ready to learn. Yeah. But I'm also ready to give some tips. Yeah. Trying to guide.
Speaking of tips, could you go ahead and look in that camera and give like your, number one tip, the number one tip you feel like right now for you?
As far as what? Like my culinary career?
I like a little bit of both, actually. I like, just being able to give back into the community and then just like your culinary career or finding purpose, right? Like, how do you?
I feel like my number one tip would to be know that you belong. You belong there. If it's in your heart and it's in your mind and it's a burning desire, lean into that. And lean on the people that you love and trust yourself that you can make it happen.
Exactly.
Because God all put us here for a reason. And when you don't answer that call and you deny that there's a voice inside of you, not only are you doing yourself a disservice, but you're doing everybody else a disservice as well.
Because we're waiting for you.
We are waiting for you to change the world with whatever it is, however you want to give back, however you are going to contribute in this world. We are waiting for you.
Absolutely.
So answer that call. Stop ignoring that voice in your stomach, inside of you, because it's going to continue to get louder and louder, and you're going to be more and more uncomfortable until you feel like it's time to get things going.
And God will do that. He will do that. He will push you then.
Absolutely.
He will push you. So, and that's what happened with you.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you.
Absolutely.
Thanks
this was
coming.
so fun.
Yeah, it was
I'm really
great.
glad I came.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Because once again, guys, we met once and I was just like, she's cool.
Yeah, we started following each other on Instagram and I'm like, oh my God, what doesn't she do? Oh. Come on, what don't you do?
Sleep,
baby. You gotta get that. Sleep. It doesn't look like it at all.
Thank you.
You're glowing, babe.
Thank you.
Okay.
Same.
Like a whole queen sitting right here.
Thank you.
This room is just lit up, and it's not because of the lights, I'll tell you that.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. No, I mean, and that, honestly, that is the purpose of Mesh. That's what we want to do. We want to connect with people. You know, yes, I know that there are bigger platforms and agencies and all those things, but, you know, we really want to be able to just hear people's stories. I think that it's fine to continue. I know that we're in a fast-paced world and all these different platforms, but just, you know, let's be real. No, how did honestly, you get there? How are you staying? You know, what do I do? Like, I think these are real conversations.
If you were to ask me, how am I doing? I would have said, how am I doing? Or like, how am I doing really?
Right.
And how am I doing really? Some days I'm like, I feel on top of the world.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, this is great.
Yep.
Thank you so much. This is incredible thank you God for my life. Yeah. I feel like a rock star. And other days I'm like, this is so heavy, Lord.
Woosah.
Like,
sheesh. Yeah. Get me out of here. For sure. Trust me.
But it just takes consistency.
Absolutely.
And leaning on the people that you love. To
and one day at a time.
That you're in the right place and you're doing the right thing and you're doing everything that you can.
And Miss, you are doing everything that you can. You're an inspiration.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Absolutely.
We are continuously following, you know, your journey and anything that Mesh can do to support, you know, giving back to the community. That we're all about that.
Oh, I'm gonna let you know,
for
baby.
Sure.
I got
for
you.
Sure. Yes, and keep us accountable. We're all about that.
Yeah.
So,
if anybody wants to volunteer,
yes, let us know.
They can hit me up on my Instagram. Okay. It's Natalia Nasa.
Okay, we'll drop that.
Yeah.
We'll drop that for sure.
For sure.
Okay.
And, you know, we could just go from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that was a great conversation. Did you have fun? Did you get some tips? Okay. It was a great conversation. Much needed. All about finding your purpose, giving back to the community, and listening to God when He's trying to tell you something. It's real. Thank you again, guys. If you are a creative, if you're looking to support and submit a creative, go to meshclctv.com. We'll be waiting for you. Stay tuned. Welcome to Mesh.
Mesh Talk is created and produced by The Mesh Collective.